Welcome to Discover Barnstable, the official podcast of the Town of Barnstable, a podcast where you can meet the people who steward the programs and services that connect us to the quality of life here in the Town of Barnstable. We invite you to join the conversation as we navigate municipal government and our community pathways to help you discover Barnstable. Hi, I'm Cathy Flynn, and on this episode of Discover Barnstable, we're joined by Communications Director Lynne Poyant.
Hi, Cathy.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Excellent. Well, as you know, Lynne is a very familiar voice here on the Discover Barnstable podcast, one of our original podcast OGs, way back to the very first podcast.
That is correct.
Thank you for bringing your wealth of knowledge of the town and of our topic to the table today. We're so happy to have you.
Thanks for having me, and it's fun to be on this side of the table instead of on the other side of the table.
We'll get you coming and going, that's for sure. Well, today we are going to be talking about citizen resources and the information available through the town to help new residents or people who maybe just need to find something throughout the town of Barnstable.
Yes, and we try to meet people where they are, and we also realize that one size does not fit all. We have a very diverse population. We actually have an older population when you look at the town census for people that are over the age of 65 and stuff. So people receive information in different ways. And so what we try to do is make sure that we come up with ways of communication that will appeal to as many people as possible.
Excellent. And I know just from kind of dipping my toes in the water here with the town, we have a lot. What kind of resources do we have available as far as communicating with residents?
So the number one way that we usually communicate with residents is through the town's website. And it's really fascinating because there are so many pages on that website. There's over 300,000 pages on the website. That's a lot of information. But the town is very large, and we have a number of departments, and then there are a number of divisions within the department. And then there are programs within those divisions, and some of those have their own web pages and things of that nature. We also have created over the years, and some of the websites that we created actually started during COVID, the BarnstableHealth.com website. And then with the comprehensive wastewater management plan, the BarnstableWaterResources.com. And our weekly e-news has a place to land because there's a lot of information and people were wanting to go back to it. And in order to find an easier way to go back to that, it was the creation of BarnstableEnews.com. So those are some of the sub-websites. And then Planning and Development has created some additional, like BarnstableLCP.com, BarnstableBusiness.com. They've got the new Greening Hyannis, which you were instrumental in. And so those kind of things are what people look for. The website has over 2 million visits a year. And it was really interesting because we were trying to figure out why the main page wasn't the number one item, and that's because of bookmarking. And the property lookup, which is through assessing, is really the number one page on the website. And there were a lot of changes that were made, especially with the comprehensive wastewater management plan, so that people could see what phase of the plan that they were in. People want to know if they're on a public or a private road, and all of that information is provided through the property lookup web page. So, and that's, a lot of data that's provided through there.
It's a great starting point as well. If you're looking for something within the town of Barnstable, you're going to find it on the town's main website. There's, the town clerk's information. You can you mentioned the DPW their pages in there as well. Yeah. You can get to our social media from there. So just about anything.
And you have the town council, you have the town manager. We have quick links for a number of things. There are the official agendas, which are there. Boards, committees, and commissions have their own pages. So there is a lot of information that's available through the homepage. We also have it in the news section. There are some tiles on the left-hand side for the most frequently pages that are most frequently accessed, like the Barnstable Water Resources, like Government Access Channel. So a year ago, Comcast changed us from Channel 18 to different channels, but you can still access the channel live through streaming. Yes. And there's a link right on the left-hand page so that it's easy access to get to that page as well.
Perfect. So that's a great place to start. If you're looking for something from the town, go to the town's website. You're guaranteed to find it.
Correct.
Excellent.
And if you can't find it, we're happy to help you try to locate it. So the other thing that we have is, as we talked about, that there's a very diverse group of ages that we have here. And so there are a lot of people that just want to pick up a phone and call. So we have a citizens resource line, which is 508-862-4925. And that, I would say 9 out of 10 times is actually answered by a person. You don't have to leave a voicemail message. And we are frequently transferring, as one of the people that answers the phones, we're frequently transferring them to a department so that they can but there's a lot of times where we have the information right then and there. The other thing that we have is we have a town main mailbox, which is email@town.barnstable.ma.us. And that is a very active email box. And I have to say that it has picked up in the number of emails that are coming in the past year and a half. And I'll explain why a little bit further down the line here.
It's great to know, though, that if you're looking for something, it's as easy as a phone call away or an email away, and you're actually getting a live person. It's not automated. You're connecting with an actual human being at the other end, working hard to give you answers, resolve any questions or any issues you might have. So sometimes, that takes a minute a day to get where you need to go and help you figure out, but it's a town employee, behind the keyboard or answering the phone, giving you answers, which is fantastic.
And we are very responsive on the town main mailbox. It used to be a while back that it wasn't maintained on a daily basis, and now it's daily, hourly. It's even monitored nights and weekends. Wow. So we've had a couple of emergencies that came up on a Saturday, and we were able to reach out to the staff that would be able to assist and get someone with their solution. And I know that was greatly appreciated by the person on the other end. So Excellent. We're happy to do that.
Excellent.
In December of 2022, we took advantage of the town clerk's annual town census. It's required by law that the town clerk send out a census to all residents in the town of Barnstable. It's for the voters. And it's 22,000 plus people. And so our town clerk, Ann Quirk, allows us to pay just for the insert, provided that it doesn't increase the weight of the mailing. We don't have to pay for the postage. We only pay for the insert that gets done. So we did a communication survey, and that communication survey went out to over 22,000 people, and we received over 7,000 back for people telling us what it was that they wanted to communicate. And one of the things that they were looking for was an app. And what really surprised us was that it was women over the age of 60 that were looking to have this app. We were expecting that it would be in the lower numbers, sure, in the 20s, people in their 20s. But it was women over 60 that were looking to have an app. And so with that, we, in June of 2023, launched the My Barnstable app. And I have to say that has been a tremendous benefit to the town. And Cathy, because you do a lot of the notifications out there, we are able to communicate with people through the app notifications, and people who have registered also will get an email if they've provided their email address for us. So that has been a tremendous way for us to communicate with people. And when we talked about the town main mailbox and the increase in numbers, it's because one of the items on the app is report a problem.
Yeah.
And so people will report a problem through the app, and it will go to that email address. And so that's why the numbers have ticked up. So we're grateful that people are using it, and we want them to continue to do that.
So if you don't have the app downloaded already, you can get it through Apple or your
Google Play.
Google Play, thank you.
Yeah.
You just download it straight to your phone, and it's literally at the tips of your fingertips. So much information through the town. It's kind of like a mini town website. It gives you a lot of the same features that the website does.
Plus property lookup is on there.
Property lookup is on there. Plus the notifications that you need, whether it's street closures, maybe it's a beach closure, or if the lot's full, and any kind of emergency communication that residents need to know.
And I have to say that Kelly Colopy, the communications manager for the DPW, has been phenomenal as far as using that, because during construction season, any of the construction notices that need to get out there, Kelly has been the one that's been uploading those, and people have commented how great it is. We also have a partnership with Waze that we're able to, and it took a long time to get that partnership, but we're able to update that map so that people will know if there's a detour needed, and things like that. So that's really good. One of the things that we have is what our digital content manager, does, and that's our social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, and YouTube. And YouTube has been really growing because our podcasts are on YouTube, and we find that more people are watching the podcast than they are listening.
They want to see us.
They want to see us. And then, but we get tremendous outreach for those kind of things. And YouTube, all of our meetings are uploaded to YouTube. So if someone can't watch it through our live stream on our or video on demand through the website, they have the ability to watch it through YouTube. So that's been tremendous.
And such a great resource. And I need to shout out to our guys here behind the camera who do all of the meetings, and our team within communications, putting all of the podcasts out. So it's out there. If you're looking for a specific meeting, even if you need something from the archives, there's probably a way to find it. And so it's available. So many great resources.
Yeah. So let's give a shout out.
Yeah.
We want to thank Stone Dow, and we want to thank David Hebner, and because they're the ones that make the magic happen. It's like, the Wizard of Oz. They're behind the curtain, making all the magic happen. So, yeah.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you. Next, something that we started in 2008. It's really hard to believe that it's been around that long. It's changed format a number of times. Now it's mostly clickable links, but it's our weekly Barnstable e-news. And we try to get it out by noon on a Friday. And I know that there are some people that religiously try to, they want it by noon on Friday because it sets up their weekend or something like that. But we have, I think it's 6,000 residents that are currently receiving e-news on a weekly basis. And it provides summaries of town council meetings. It provides events. We focus on different things with the 7 village libraries, which are independent. We have our Council on Aging, who is the Barnstable Adult Community Center, very active. So we give space to that. Obviously, the construction updates as they come, and then anything we not anything, but we try to provide a lot of information about Barnstable Public Schools, and you can actually get to the Barnstable Public Schools website through the My Barnstable app as well. This Discover Barnstable podcast was created. We're in our 4th season, actually 5th, and we're in the decline of the 5th, or we're almost finished with the 5th season. But it took a long time to get that started. And then, we had COVID happen, which further delayed things. But we find that a lot of people find it as a benefit, and the whole purpose or not the purpose, but one of the things that we try to do is we try to make it that if you are driving from Marston's Mills or Cotuit, you can listen to an episode on your way to Hyannis. And so we try to keep it at a certain time frame for that.
Excellent. And they're just so entertaining.
They are entertaining, listen? Yeah. And, we have some frequent flyers. Mark Milne, our finance director, who's phenomenal, has been a frequent flyer. I think he's been in every single season. Ann Quirk, our town clerk. The way things have changed through COVID, with early voting, vote by mail, there's been a lot of complications that has been added, and in the most recent election, over 8,000 pieces of mail went out for early vote, for vote by mail. And so there's a lot of things that we want to make sure that the public is informed about. It's, been a real benefit to the residents to have another way. And again, people are watching it via YouTube in addition to listening to it.
I was going to say they can go back and re-listen to the podcast episodes because they're all on YouTube, or you can find them on whatever your favorite streaming service is. You can go back through all the seasons and re-listen to those because there's still so much great information out there. And if it seems a little dated, there's probably a newer one that's been updated in the meantime.
Yeah, something like with our recreation director regarding beaches.
Correct.
That's always a new one every year. We have Code Red, which is through the Barnstable Police Department, and that's an emergency notification program. One thing I have to say about both Code Red and the My Barnstable app, the citizen themselves has to put the information in. Landlines are public information, and I believe Code Red downloads landlines. What it won't download is cell phones, because cell phones are considered private. And so if someone wants to get notifications either for Code Red or the My Barnstable app, you have to make the move to get on there. So I just want to make sure that people, are aware of that.
So when you're thinking, like if you notice the big pushes that come through federally, like it's an Amber Alert or a Silver Alert that come through on your phone, that's not what this is. You have to go in and opt into these services, but it's usually that kind of information, the emergency, stay off this road, there's something happening, or a local Amber Alert or something like that, maybe with the fire or the police. But you do have to go in and give us access to that. You have to opt into both of those, the Code Red and the My Barnstable app.
Correct. And the federal alerts, those are through the phone carriers. When you're in a room with people who have phones that aren't on silent or vibrate, everybody knows that there's a alert coming through. I think they actually come through even if you are on vibrate. But they're, very distinct messaging. So, and then, town offices, the main offices are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, with the exception of federal holidays. And we try to do, one of the other most popular things that we found out through the survey was everybody wants to know what's going on with the transfer station. They want to know what the hours for the transfer station are. So we try to make those notifications as well so that people know that, town offices. And so depending upon when a holiday falls, if it were November 11th, because Veterans Day is always on the actual day, or Juneteenth, which is always on the actual day, we would provide when the office is closed and when service, reopens. So,
and that applies for the HYCC, the Hyannis Youth and Community Center, and the Barnstable Adult Community Center as well. When the town offices are closed, they're closed as well.
The Barnstable Adult Community Center, yes. The Hyannis Youth and Community Center, it depends.
Okay.
They don't, because students are out of school, we want people to have a place for their kids to go. But like the 4th of July, people are at the beaches. They're not on the ice. Okay. And there's a couple of other holidays that they may not be open, but the HYCC tends to be open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yep. So I think that we've covered the first round.
Have we ticked off all the ways that we can connect with the residents in the town of Barnstable?
Yeah, I mean, there's more. We do press releases and other things that hopefully will get out to the media of your choice. Okay. So we do have a number of media partners that we share the information with. So
excellent. So the main takeaway from this, be sure to download the My Barnstable app. Go in and bookmark the Town of Barnstable's website, because you can get to just about everything from there. You can get to all the town websites that come off of that with information you might need. You can find the citizen resource line is right on, I think it's the left-hand side, maybe as well. You can get to the town main mailbox. Our social media feed is in there. Be sure to go in and like and follow those pages as well, because we're always putting out really helpful, useful information to keep you up to date. All the great ways you can subscribe to the Barnstable e-news newsletter through there as well.
Yep. So. And I have to say that when we talk about our social media feed, Instagram is something that we get comments about all the time. The beautiful pictures. I know that David Hevner and I believe Sarah are the two primary feeders of images to that to our Instagram account. And there's really some stunning pictures. We get comments about it all the time.
Agreed. Well, I think we've captured just about everything. So let's go straight for the bonus question. And I know you're not surprised, because you're usually the one delivering the bonus question. So I'm sure you have in the back of your mind already thought about it. What's your favorite season,
Yeah,
Lynne?
I really think fall is my favorite season. Growing up as a kid, my family ran an apple cider mill in Acushnet, and every weekend we were down there. But it's just the change. It tends to be a little less busy on the Cape, but the temperature is just about perfect, and it's crisp. There's just something about fall.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that's the best answer, I think. We'll go with that. All right. Thank you so much, Lynne, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
On the opposite side of the table. On behalf of Lynne and myself, thank you for spending time with us and listening to Discover Barnstable, the official podcast of the Town of Barnstable. We hope you found a new understanding of how your municipal government works for you and our community. Be sure to drop us a line at podcast@town.barnstable.ma.us and let us know what you would like to learn next. Until next time, go Discover Barnstable.